Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn something in EVS called as shelter and types of houses. Now, what is this shelter and types of houses? Before that, we have to know that the house in which we live with our family is called our home. A house can be built of bricks, mud, many things, right? That which we are going to learn it right now. But when do you say it a home? When you have your family inside. So now let's see the types of houses. Can you see there are so many types of houses? There is a castle, hut, bungalow, tent, caravan, apartment or building. Now let's see how it is made and what are the requirements. Before that, you can see a house. Why do you need a house? For shelter. Shelter from what? Protection from what? From rain, sun, that is heat. Then you have the wind. When there is lots of wind or breeze, snow, you need protection, right? And then there is a thief. You need to keep your belongings safe. Your clothes should be kept properly. Your belongings should be kept properly. You have to avoid the thief, right? And also from wild animals. Look who is coming in here. A tiger and a jackal. Yes, you should be away from them. For these reasons, you need shelter. So I repeat, you need shelter to avoid yourself from rain, tremendous heat, wind or snow, thief or any unforeseen circumstances of different people attacking you and wild animals, right? Now let's come to the types of home. Now when I say types of home or kinds of home, you have one home called as or the house called as a temporary house and the other is called the permanent house. When I say temporary house, the other word for temporary is also kacha house and for permanent house you say pakka house. So there are some people living in a temporary house. And what are the materials used for this temporary house? It is the straws, bamboo, wood, mud and dry leaves. Let's see some of the houses. Now temporary houses are also called as huts. Yes, it is made of wood I said. Then it is made of bamboo. Can you see? Bamboo. And then it is made of straws and dry leaves, yes, and also with mud. Can you see these are all temporary homes? You might have seen when you go to for holidays, there are temporary houses built near the beach and all that stuff, right? Coming to the permanent house, there are some people who lives in town or cities living in a permanent house. And what are the materials used for permanent home? It is the iron rods, cement and bricks. The house that you live in are the permanent house, right? And which are they? Some of them live in a bungalow, yes, and some live in an apartment or a building, yes. Now, if you are a king or a queen, where do you live? You live in a castle or a palace. In olden times, people used to live in caves, much olden times, right? And these are how they didn't even know how to wear clothes. That time they used to live in caves. Also on tree houses. Why do you think they used to stay in tree houses? Especially when they are living in the forest area to be avoiding the attack of wild animals, they used to prefer to stay in a tree house so that the animals don't come and attack them. Now, what about people who stay in very cold area? They are living in a house called as an igloo. It's made up of hard snow. And you know, these people are called differently. They are called as Eskimos. They stay in a house made up of hard snow and which is called as an igloo. And here the climate is very, very cold and most of the time it keeps snowing. That is the reason they built like this house. Now, have you seen certain houses having a slopy roof? Why do you think so? It is because areas where there are a lot of rain, okay, and if there is a lot of snow coming in, they prefer to have a sloping roof. Why? To avoid the accumulation of water. If you have a flat roof, what will happen? The water will get collected on the rooftop and the walls will get damaged, because if it gets accumulated, the water will start absorbing on the walls, and you have seen sometimes when you have come to school, there is a leakage. Why? Because there is a collection of water on the rooftop. If you have a slopy roof, this can be avoided. The water will keep falling. You can see in this picture, it just droops off. It doesn't get collected. Yes? Now, there are houses like a tent. Now, what is a tent? A tent is made up of a cloth or a canvas. This is a temporary house as well. Now, who uses this tent? People who go for a particular work or maybe some climatic condition or for food. Most of them who use a tent is the circus people. I'm sure you have been to a circus and you have seen that they stay in a tent like this. Army, the people who fight for a country, they cannot go and stay in a hotel or a house and then come immediately running when there is a fight happening or our enemies coming to attack. So they have to prepare themselves to stay in a tent so that they are always available to protect our country, right? Another type of house that you can see is a caravan. Who uses this? Yes, the celebrities. When they go from one place to another and then they don't want to stay in a particular place, when they are shooting, they prefer to be in their own vehicle with all the facilities. It is a moving vehicle. A caravan is a moving vehicle, and these celebrities go in their own caravan so that they have everything set up for them in that particular vehicle. Yes? The next one. Houseboats. Yes, you have seen a lot of houseboats in Kerala. There are houseboats in Kashmir as well. And these are the house that attracts tourists. They love to be in the sea for long or maybe a night. They cannot go in for a ship. Yes, so houseboats are for people who love to tour, especially in Kerala and Kashmir. Not everywhere do you find this houseboat. The next one, what does it say? We found that all these types of houses are beautiful, very nice. I repeat, temporary house was a house which was not very strong. Yes, it is weak. When there is a storm or when there are heavy floods, it can break down. Yes, but a permanent house is strong enough. Even if there is a flood or there is a storm, it does not break down so very fast unless it is really beyond our control, like an earthquake. Then even the permanent house will fall down. Yeah. Now, all this temporary and permanent house, whether it is a bungalow or a tent or a caravan or a house made of a hut, when it is kept clean, neat, and also when there is fresh air coming into the house. How will the fresh air come in? When you have proper windows, proper doors, and it is open. You have to allow the air to come into your house. Also, don't forget that you can also plant indoor plants. You have seen many of the houses having indoor plants. Why? Because you have learned that plants give out oxygen. So if you have an indoor plant, it gives you the energy, the oxygen inside. So that is why we say keep the house, whenever you build a house, you need to take care of all these proper windows, proper door, and also plants. And it is your duty to keep your house clean and neat. Only then will it look beautiful and you will get a happy atmosphere. Thank you. Do not forget to watch this video understand what are the types of houses, why do you need shelter, which is a permanent house, which is a temporary house, what happens if you stay in a temporary house, whether it is strong or weak. All this you should understand, and only then will you do your worksheet.